Lots of news happening in Canada, including the family of one of the victims in the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting suing the tech company OpenAI. 12-year-old Maya Gebala was shot 3 times. She's still in hospital, suffering from what a lawsuit describes as a catastrophic traumatic brain injury. Her mom is suing OpenAI, saying that they did not tell police what they knew about the shooter. Marianne looking into what OpenAI did know about the shooter's intentions. Marianne, what exactly is in this legal claim?
Yeah, and that is really an important point, David, because we know this claim was filed in BC's Supreme Court by Maya Gebala's mother, Sia Edmonds, and we've actually got a copy of it here. You can see it is multiple pages long, a long list of claims in this document, but including the fact that OpenAI did not notify police here in Canada, or police anywhere for that matter, despite the fact that the shooter's ChatGPT profile was banned in June because of gun violence that was reported in some of the posts. We know that months later, February 10th, that's when the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting took place. 8 people were killed before the shooter took her own life. Take a look at what else is listed in this claim. We've pulled out some of the main points here because, again, it is quite long, but it does say that ChatGPT was calibrated to convey human-like empathy, heightened sycophancy to mirror and affirm user emotions. That's an interesting point because the claim also says at one point that the shooter relied on ChatGPT for mental health support and counseling. It also goes on to say in its claim that OpenAI had specific knowledge of the shooter utilizing ChatGPT to plan a mass casualty event like the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting when it reviewed the gun violence ChatGPT posts or monitored the shooter's other ChatGPT chat logs, through the monitoring systems, but took no steps to warn relevant law enforcement or anyone at risk of harm. Meanwhile, we know Sia Edmonds' daughter, Maya Gebala, 12 years old, remains in hospital recovering from her injuries. She was shot 3 times on the day of that shooting on February 10th. At this point, though, David, we know that the family is not going to be speaking while this claim goes before the courts. A lawyer speaking on their behalf says they're looking for accountability and to prevent something like this from happening ever again.
Marianne, ChatGPT had essentially banned the shooter from using that platform, and yet we know the shooter was still using ChatGPT. We know that because OpenAI has acknowledged it.
Yeah, that's right. So the first account associated with the shooter in ChatGPT was banned back in June because of those posts involving gun violence. It was banned, and that was despite the fact that several employees within OpenAI flagged this. They were concerned about an imminent threat, escalated it to leadership within OpenAI, hoping that they would contact authorities. Apparently, it did not meet the threshold to do so, according to OpenAI, and so the profile was just banned, and no one was contacted authority-wise. But then we know that the shooter then opened a second ChatGPT account, which was not banned. And according to this claim, the shooter continued to search up and play out these violent scenarios, including gun violence, David.
And Marianne, can you describe what we're seeing in terms of political blowback?
Yeah, we definitely have heard right after the tragedy from BC's Premier David Eby, who had even commented that the victims may have been alive if OpenAI had actually contacted authorities before the mass shooting in February. They did contact them, but that was after the shooting happened. There was a virtual meeting with the Premier as well as the Mayor of Tumbler Ridge with the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman. Altman agreeing to apologize to the community of Tumbler Ridge, also agreeing to discuss regulations around AI and OpenAI and ChatGPT with the province of British Columbia, but it's not clear exactly where things will go from here. We already know that the federal AI minister met with leadership from OpenAI, and again, what's going to happen now, it's still not clear. There is inquest that is being planned to answer more of the questions that many people still have, but David, at this point, no date has been set for that.
All right, Marianne, thank you very much.